Dr. Gilda, okay, here you go. You just roll because I know you have five things to tell me today.
Yes, there are five stages to every single relationship. People don't want to hear it. They don't like it. They want to see a relationship begin and walk into the sunset. Well, good luck. The sunset is not even going to attract you unless you understand the whole process. Now, whether this is love or whether this is business, it doesn't make any difference. The first stage is the honeymoon stage. In business, it's called the forming stage. The team gets together and they form and they talk about what's what and they're just getting to know each other. But the second stage is where you have to watch your step because that is the power struggle stage. And you know somebody a little bit and now you're battling. Who's on top? Who's on bottom? Who's going to be dominant? Who's going to be submissive? And everybody's trying to get their words in there without listening. And that's a whole other topic that we talk about. But everybody's got to listen to each other and participate so that everybody walks away with them. What's in it for me? But the power struggle goes on and on and on. The third stage is finally, after the power struggle, stability. And that's wonderful. In business, we call it the forming, the storming, and then the norming stage. Everybody's in normalcy. Okay, they're doing their work, everything's fine. And then comes performing. That's the fourth step. And that's really, in a love relationship, that's called commitment. And you're really committed. The fifth stage is really the whole basis of the whole relationship, and that's called co creation. And in business, it's called okay, we did our performance, now we're leaving, we're adjourning. However, with the co creation, if you stay around a while, you are bouncing ideas off each other's heads, not naming, blaming, and shaming anybody, but you are participating fully and watching that person's back, whether it's in business or whether it's in your personal life. You have to understand that when you, like the Hollywood stars, when you find somebody and you say, oh, I'm love struck, I'm in love, and then you decide to get married, all you're in is the honeymoon stage. You haven't even gotten to the power struggle. And that's why some of these relationships end up in the garbage right after they have just begun. So please, everybody, understand you have the honeymoon, the power struggle, you have stability, you have commitment. Notice commitment doesn't come until the fourth stage. So, ladies out there, if you're telling this guy, hey, you better get committed, you have to go through the first three steps before you get to the fourth step. And finally, you're co creating in a family, in a love relationship, in a good bonded interaction. You can't bypass any stage because it's a normal thing that you have to go through.
So in a business relationship, client to person, you're not going to get to that commitment stage at the beginning.
You got it. So if you go into a business meeting and you say, "Hi, my name is Dr. Gilda, and this is what I can do for you." Remember when we talked a couple of weeks ago about how you have to get to know each other with the dialogue, then the dialogue, then finally you have your monologue where you can shine. But if the person isn't ready to hear your monologue, you just don't hit him with, "Hi, I'm Dr. Gilda, and this is what I can do for you." No, that person doesn't even know if the person wants to get into bed with you yet. So you have to make it enticing so the person gets to know you. And if you are setting up all kinds of shields around you, you're going to lose the person. He's going to lose interest and you're going to be out of a job.
I love it. That's something to think about in this process. And that's why I always think that you can't find your ideal client right when you think you've picked the one. You have to look through the process of those clients you're trying to build as ideal and go through those stages because sometimes you're going to know at a certain stage why they churned.
And this takes time. And you have to sit back, listen to every word. Now, I go through this whole thing in my media coaching. Listen to every word that they say. In particular, what kind of pronouns are they using? Me, I, or we and us?
So
Make
I'm gonna argue with you in this sense that yes, you're right, but you don't want to go through the bullshit anymore, and that's you. So go to drgilda.com. She doesn't want to sometimes go through that stage. She's just gonna dump you right off the bat, say goodbye, you're out, and that's the problem. You
Well,
try, and
wait.
she only has three more. She has only three more spots remaining. So you got to contact her ASAP if you want to get a spot with her.
You have to understand, if you're sick of the bullshit and you don't want to have any more of it, you're also cutting off your nose to spite your face. So you have to put up with the stuff. If the person is lying, don't even think, this is a liar. Instead, count the times that the person reneged on the promises that he made to you. And then you'll know for sure that whatever you walk away from was a good thing to walk away from it.
That was the Neil Haley